What is up, friends? How we doing? We're out here, MetaParty vibes, in Decentraland. Let's go. How you doing, Kat? We got Kolorful. What's up, Kolorful?
Hello. Yeah, sorry. No, I was trying to invite people, and then I was trying to remember that they're on the other side of the world, and they might not be available right now because I'm just wait, what time is it in Europe? It might be way too late, but yeah, just trying to invite some more friends that I saw come around today to the meditation spaces and the mesmerizing meditation that went down earlier. It was such a cool experience. I love the importance of sleep one that Bleace did last night as well. I think that there's just a lot of different types of events that are going on right now, and like we were saying yesterday, it just feels really good to all come together and be in this kind of mindful space. But yeah, Kat, it was so nice hanging out with you on our rooftop in the garden earlier. It was a good vibe. And doing yoga together.
Yeah. Yeah, I was cracking up because I was like, not the founding mothers tripping out in the garden. But yeah, no, I've just had such a good time. I know that I may not be able to do so many weekly things with Decentraland, but when it's these festivals or these bigger events, I try to tend to try to squeeze you know what I mean, my way in there and to free up some time for that. But yeah, I just want to say kudos to the builders and the creators here in Decentraland. It's been so fun going around seeing the wearables, collecting them, and yeah, just a fun vibe. It's very calming. I didn't know what to expect because it's always so different every time you walk in. There's always so much to see, but it does not disappoint. There were so many good spots, good vibes. I saw this moon whole spot that you had to go I guess do little things and there was little critters, little creatures, and yeah, it was a nice little garden, and yeah, it's just so much to take in. But yeah, like I said, when I make it to these events, it's just so nice seeing the Decentraland peeps just all vibing together like you never left. And yeah, that's what really means a lot to me, is seeing those reoccurring personas and characters in Decentraland, because I feel you can tell now by the wearables. I feel if there have been people here for a long time, they have signature wearables that either they'll always wear or they'll never take off. And so I'm always really excited to see that type of stuff. But yeah, no, I've loved the vibes. The yoga has been it. Such calming energy, and yeah, it's definitely something that I've needed recently, just with health and stuff like that. So when this wellness week came up, I was like, nah, sign me up. So thank you guys for definitely bringing the good vibes, and also being a part of this whole you know what I mean, what wellness means, and mental health. It does mean a lot to me, someone that does struggle with that, you know what I mean. I won't go too far into it, but yeah, I definitely feel we can all relate, and if we can all just take a little breather together, why not? We're amongst good company. So thank you guys.
We love to hear that, and we were talking about that yesterday in the space with Kim, and how we wanted a change of pace of events, and to bring a different perspective to this space. And I think this event has really done that, and it's been great to see everyone kind of responding to the music and the sounds, and that element of it, of the sounds mixing with the visual. And we were talking about the color schemes as well. It's really calming color schemes, and I like the color scheme of the event itself. I really like the purples and the orange. I really like that. Has a great feel to it. But I think there was a switch, and we have PB. So I just wanted to say what's up to PB. How you doing? Happy Wednesday.
Hey, yeah, I'm here now. Me and Kim actually joined in at the same time, I think, so I could see her hearting and talking both from the Decentraland account. I didn't know that was possible. So a little Twitter fun fact for you. Interesting little mix up there. But anyways, happy to be here. It's been awesome to see all the social content that's been being pushed so far. I love what you were just saying about the colors as well. I've also whenever creating things from my perspective, I'm also really interested in particular colors, what color I use in color schemes and things like that. So this one in particular has been really interesting. And there was actually specifically whenever I saw one of your events with your blues and purples that you use, before I even saw your name on it, I'm like, oh, that looks like Bleace colors. And then it happened to be your event. So it really just shows from that like what just the use of colors could really show or just like give off a meaning.
I love to hear that. That means a lot, truly. Yeah, I see some other friends up in here. Maryana, we've been hanging out all day. Tangpoko is back. And we've got Odd Job up here. What is up, friends? I'll throw it to Maryana. I think you popped up here first, but yeah, welcome. What's been your highlight of the day?
Hey, I haven't had a chance to be in scene too much today, besides when I came to you. But yeah, I mean, just the music itself, and then just all the different types of builds was very inspiring, from the yoga to the different mindful audio experiences. Definitely was really cool. And I pretty much I had like the stream on for most of the day while I was working, and now I'm like doing a puzzle to continue the wellness. Sometimes a nice puzzle will, help with, I don't know, just puzzle just like takes your mind off of things. So that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, I look forward to day 2 to enjoy it more. But yeah, great build and everything.
That smoothie looked really yummy. I had to post that up there. Nothing sells wellness more than a nice smoothie.
It was perfect time. Like, it was just perfect timing with me making the smoothie and then me popping in. So definitely a good way to start Wellness Week. No better than with a smoothie. So definitely encourage everyone to, wellness is more than the mind. It's also your health. Your the nutrients, vitamins you get in. So without that, your mind cannot function in a way. So I definitely give a shout out to that as well.
It's all a balance of everything, like for real. I love it. And I think it was Kim that was mentioning yesterday that apart from it being Wellness Week in Decentraland, it's Wellness Week, in general, just highlighting that in your IRL. If you step away from the computer, take a walk. I walked my dog earlier, and it felt just really nice just to be like outside, even though it's like freezing here. But it still felt good just to get some fresh air and just kind of walk around. That's always a good idea. And yeah, I'm all about the smoothies, fruits, veggies, kind of good balance. And I always promote just balance. Just you can have your sweet things and your nice things, but just balance it out. And yeah, your body will thank you for it for sure, and your mind. Not sure who came up first, either Tang or Scott, but whoever wants to come up and share what their highlight of the day is. I love that when Tang popped in, her entourage came with her. That was amazing.
Hey everybody, how are you? I am just back from a vacation, and I feel like it was the best time to come back to Decentraland because I've had like this whole week to recharge and relax, and then I jump into DCL and it's more relaxation and more recharging and feel good vibes. I'm so glad I got a chance to come into DCL today after so long, and the vibes are so good. I'm thrilled with Wellness Week so far. It's so nice.
Yeah, it was like Tangpoko is back, and everyone just must have clicked on Tangpoko's name and just appeared. That was great. And then I just saw the picture Neo posted, and I see Neo down there. What is up, friend? But that was a great moment of everyone kind of lined up and then started doing poses. I thought that was so good.
The build is so beautiful, and I really felt when we all started posing together and doing these yoga moves together, I really felt the vibes, like real life connection vibes with everybody else. We went to a couple other builds, right? I came in a little bit late, so I don't know what you guys have already talked about, but what was the other build? It's by Ova, and it's sort of like more guided meditation on an upper floor. Like that felt really good. I love the yoga emotes that we're all going to do, like auto dance, but it's auto meditate. And that felt good. I felt so connected with everybody that I was touring with today. Such an amazing event.
Yeah, I was saying that that was my highlight of the yoga class being filled and all the yoga mats being filled and there being a line for yoga mats. That really was. I don't know if that was what you were talking about. Was the yoga part?
Yeah, I loved that, and I loved it. It was just like real life. I think it was Kat who was like, "There's 2 more spaces ready, 2 more mats opened up." It was just like being in a real yoga studio. It's funny.
Yeah, and Trollbot's like, I just got off my mat. You can use my mat. That was so good.
I just like the auto emotes on the yoga mat. Like that's really cool because I don't have any yoga emotes before that, so it was cool to kind of see my avatar at least getting something done for me today because I have just been relaxing myself and just seeing my avatar do the work for me. I'm like, that's nice. I love that.
Are you outsourcing your yoga?
I really am, and in the future, if my avatar can do a lot of things for me, that'd be great too.
Oh, it's going to happen sooner than we think, right?
Definitely.
Did anybody have a chance to do the Monkey and the Moon event? Was it the Monkey and the Moon? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I started it. I think there may have been some more obstacles, but I liked the spreading of the stones. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could have played a whole game that is just like do your Japanese garden with the rake. That was very enjoyable. I think we need to have a game like that that's just like nothing but Zen circles everywhere to meditation music. That was great. I thought the whole thing was really cool. The whole process. I mean, it was a game, right? But it was a game that kind of taught us how to breathe and relax and be mindful. And I don't want to give any spoilers to anybody, but at the very end, when you're sort of forced to sit and be still to attain the final prize, like, I think this is genius. This is exactly the kind of experience that I want to see in a wellness week, as sort of like gamified wellness. I thought it was really, really cool. I don't know who did the build. I want to guess that it's low poly models, but does anybody have any information about that?
One second.
Are you checking the files? Are you asking the boss?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a post or maybe something on it so we can pin it up. I do like what you were saying though. It's kind of like gamified and like kind of forcing you to like be still is so important nowadays. Either whether it's like physically still or just mentally still, it takes a lot for us to just completely block everything out.
I know in the Ultimate Guide, hey everyone, it's Kim. I know in the Ultimate Guide it said Monkey and the Moon by Kanzi. So I don't know if Kanzi actually did the build directly or just led the project, but that is how we have identified it.
Well, it was amazing. And just like to follow up with what you were saying, Carol, when we did have to sit at the end and be still, it was kind of like I had to go through, I was excited about it first, and then I was frustrated, and seriously, it was like 300 seconds, so it really wasn't that long. But I went through frustration, and everybody else was doing the same thing too. We were kind of like complaining about it. And then at a certain moment, after a couple of minutes, we all kind of quieted down and we're just present in the stillness together. So I really think it was successful. That's how I felt anyway. Who was in there? Neo, you were meditating with me. Mikey, you were meditating with me too. I'm just gonna speak for you and say that you guys felt the same kind of stillness and mindfulness that I did, right? Yeah, you did. They're still meditating right now, I think.
They are. And we have Odd Job back. What's up, Scott? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Bleace?
All right. We're filling in here.
I was a little
having...
sad that I missed yesterday's MetaParty vibes space, but I'm happy to make this one. I have not been to any of. Well, I've been to one. I did a preview of it last week when they first deployed it. I'm looking forward to going into the space. As somebody who, one of the first events that I went to in Decentraland were the Wisher Pilates events, and the first event I ever had. Well, wait a minute, that was one of the first events that I did. Started out with a guided meditation from Serena. Before we went off and explored the rest of Decentraland. This is something that's I'm really fond of. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's how I begin all of my classes with my students. We do mindful breath work. I think that's super important. So I'm really looking forward to this meditation that you and Tangpoko and others have been talking about, and especially the suggestion or the implementation of being still at the end. It's very interesting to me. This, when I've been studying about the mind and about learning and about mindfulness, there's this thing that we can do that kind of tricks our body into adopting or adapting to new things. And one of them is if you hear your heart, like on a heart rate monitor, and if they play back for you a slower heart rate, even though your heart rate is fast, your heart rate will slow to match within a certain realm of reasonability. Your heart rate will slow to match what is being played back to you. So this suggestion that we have an avatar that sits and is still and breathes, I think it's really profound in that we can utilize this technology for good, where we can get it to help us enter into a state that is helpful. And it's a small thing. I don't think it's any of this big profound thing, but it's like all of these little benefits add up.
They do. And I was talking in the space yesterday about memory and how interacting with a 3D space improves memory over time versus just a 2D space. And we were talking about Kolorful brought up how people don't really have a third place to go to, physically. They kind of just have their home, and maybe they just work in their home and they don't have that extra place. That this can kind of serve as that extra place. And if you have somewhere to go that's calming, maybe you're really off center and you could just go somewhere where the sounds are going to be calming, the view is going to be calming. That was really my perspective in this is I want to create this space where people can come and they're just instantly kind of escaping the stress of reality a bit, and showing and highlighting the positive aspect that this space has had on myself and others, and just highlighting that. And kind of gives me a little segue into saying of why I wanted to do music as well, and it goes to the physical aspect of dance. And what really brings us together is this music, and dancing is such a communal thing, and people not always can go to a physical concert, that they can come to something like this and listen to this music. And dancing is an effective stress reliever, and it releases like these endorphins. And what they've shown with 3D spaces is that you don't physically have to do something to really experience it, that you can experience it through this 3D space, and it's kind of, your brain doesn't know the difference of the physical and something like this. So just highlighting that, because it really does have such a positive impact on your well-being, whether you're really conscious of it or not. Maybe you feel good after a concert, but really just highlighting that. And I like the different perspectives that we've taken in this wellness week, because there's so many angles that you can come at, and Maryana was highlighting that too, of the physical health and eating healthy and improving your brain function and your overall health. Because a lot of times, if you're not feeling well, you can kind of look at your diet and be like, well, this isn't helping you any. It's if you start there, you can start to build off of that. So there's a lot to cover, and I like all the different spaces, because you go into each one and it's like, oh wow, it kind of provokes this thought. So that's what's been really great about going into these different spaces. Just really well done by everybody, because it feels like they had an angle that they were going with, and everything about the build kind of amplifies that feeling and evokes it, from the music to the art that they have on the walls to the 3D build itself, the movement. There's a lot of movement, a lot of animation in here that is just really just mind-blowing. The space we were at yesterday for the breath work, where VJ Deliria was sitting in the middle and seeing all of the different animation around her, just really well done. Obliganov, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It was their build. Touche, friend.
Yeah, I really love that lotus flower. You could like sit in there, just kind of zen out. There's nothing more zen than that.
Sorry, I know I went in a bunch of different directions, but
no, you're good. I see a couple friends down there. I just wanted to say hi. Steve Sai, always hanging out with us. DK Bubbles, I love that you were just floating in the pool. We're really manifesting that warm weather. Come back. I see Meeples, Meep. Always love a good Meeples moment. Neo, Mikey Z, Gaia. Thank you, everybody. Max Flow Yoga, I just gave you a follow back. Love all the yoga in the space. And I do like doing like stretches, like yoga stretches. I think you don't have to be fully advanced like some of our little avatars are going right now. I think just starting off slow and just doing some good stretches can make such a difference to our bodies. Especially as we get older, I think we'll thank ourselves for doing some really good stretches in our youth. So I always definitely promote that.
Can I just share one other thing that I'm incorporating into my class that I think is from your reports and what you guys are sharing about what your experience has been in these spaces. Just the breath work, because when I teach what's called a special education class. There's a classification, it's called emotional behavior disorder. And most of my students, are dealing with post-traumatic stress, or they're been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or anxiety, or oppositional defiant, so it's somewhat new. It's relatively new. So there's a lot of growing body of knowledge, science, empirically based study of these. And when people are trying to access, the full depth and breadth of their mental ability. It's important that we can utilize what's called our decision-making part of our brain, our executive function, right? The prefrontal cortex. I'm not an expert. This is just me as a teacher trying to help my students, be able to emotionally regulate. And when they're in the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, I heard a new one. It's like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and that's when you try to use your cuteness or whatever to get somebody to not beat you up or whatever. That's a simple example of it. But when we're in that lizard brain part of our mind, it's sometimes hard to switch over. But when we are comfortable, and the way I explain it to my younger students, like when I was teaching pre-K all the way up through early elementary, like 3rd grade, when you're asleep, your mind is very active, but your body is very relaxed. And, we're trying to get into that state when we're in a classroom, like an environment where we're going to learn something new. Just think about when we're in a dream state and how much we learn about ourselves in that subconscious, in that liminal space. So when we're in that physical state, a relaxed body and an active mind, our breathing is very slow and it's very deep. And the cool thing about the body is that we could be asleep and be breathing that way and having our mind be active. But we can also, instead of going to sleep, we can be awake and we can activate that breathing, that slow, deep breathing of, what I do with my students. It's 4 seconds in and it's 6 seconds out. And what that can communicate to, our physical body, not just our mind, is that we're safe and that we have this ability to relax. We have this ability to recollect ourselves and to contemplate, to switch over from that fight, that flight, that freeze, or that fawn state in our brain, that we can slow down and we can switch over to the executive function, that we have the time, we have the capacity, and our breathing is a trigger for that. And I don't know, I've been going on and on to my students every single day, at beginning of every class. I have a 80-minute, blocks with my students, 80 minutes for 12, 11, 13, 14-year-old kids. And to get them to sit still for 80 minutes is an impossibility. So we get up, we move around. Bleace, you were talking about the importance of dance and movement, but we also take time to stop and to breathe. And they think I don't know what they think, but they kind of roll their eyes and whatever. But it's not this trippy dippy thing. It's very real. I've seen this group of students be transformed into a mass of just unfocused energy to, today, so many of them were on task. So many of them were calm, participating in whole class discussion, completing individual work. So a lot of the stuff that's happening in this wellness week, it's not just a thing. There's realness behind it.
I love that. Because there definitely needs to be like a mental health class, like how to find your center, because we're stressing these kids out so much. It's like we look at the past 5 years. And it's like, if adults are that stressed, imagine how stressed kids are. They feel that. And I think they're going to look back at that. They may not appreciate it now, but they are most definitely in 10 years going to be contacting you and saying, you know what, Mr. Moore, thank you so much, because I didn't appreciate it at the time, but now I can fall back on that, and I am going to use this for the rest of my life. And I may not use 1x plus 2y equals 3z, but I'm going to come back to that breath work. And when I kind of face a stressful situation, I'm going to have that in me to, find my breath, find my center, get through this, realize that, that it's a problem now. It's not going to be a problem in 5 minutes or 5 months or 5 weeks, 5 days. So I really, really, I really dig that. And that again was this approach too. It's not just for adults to do this, but to hopefully get kids appreciating this, because mental health is definitely something that's overlooked heavily in America. I know elsewhere they do prioritize it more, but that is something that is severely lacking, especially if they can learn it early on. It will just continue on, and they'll build that practice, because that's what it is. It's a meditation practice. It's not something like you reach and you're on top of this hill and, oh wow, I reached this and now it's just done and I don't need to do it. No, it's every day. It's a practice. You're not going to be perfect every day, but as long as you keep practicing and doing those reps, you can be fit. So that's a really powerful thing. And Kim, your hand shot up for sure.
I believe VJ was before me, so I will let VJ go.
VJ Deliria. I
Hello.
was just talking about you and you popped in the space. I love that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate Kolor sending me the reminder. I got the message and I'm like, oh, hold on, I'll be right there. I came up to give Scott flowers, to talk about this, this topic in terms of children. And I was like clapping the whole time, because I totally, agree with everything he's bringing up. As many of you may or may not know, I am a teacher as well. I teach art, and it is so important, this topic. And I think that in our culture, sometimes this topic of wellness becomes a taboo when it comes down to children. There is a lot of support and resources that kids need, because this type of conversations aren't addressed at home. Like sometimes the stability that the kids thrive in, they find it at school, or working with parents and forming a team around the kids can help us teachers also get to learn more about the needs for the kids, so that they can have the tools they need to succeed in school. There are many kids that learning to identify their emotions, to communicate their emotions, is definitely a crucial skill that sometimes it comes before getting down to a math or a reading lesson. It's if you can't really have your class be emotionally safe and comfortable and balanced and harmony within your class, it's gonna be hard for any teacher to get to the learning objective of the day. So having these moments of peacefulness and relaxation, and introducing kids to techniques to calm down, to identify their feelings, to express, it's so important, especially because these kids are growing up in an environment even faster than what we grew up in. And so the anxiety, the real anxiety that are coming to school with every day, I think that is so important that we open up these conversations in the classrooms. And I do the same thing. We do relaxation, even just 5 minutes of breathing techniques. And there's a lot of YouTube channels, especially made for children, to meditate, to relax, to calm down. It really helps them. I totally, make sure that the class is ready to learn before I even get started with any learning objective, because it's so important for their mental growth. So I wanted to come up and insert my nerdy topic of conversation, and I appreciate all the topics that are happening this week. I really love that this is coming also from these metaverse spaces and digital spaces that we inhabit. So thank you for everything that is happening this week.
And I just wanted to add, I am not a teacher, but I am a mom of sending kids to daycare. My kids are daycare age and kindergarten. And I want to say I am so impressed with what teachers are teaching these kids these days. My kids in their kindergarten learned breath work and calming techniques. And it, as a parent, is so amazing to have them come home and teach me something new, but also bring those skills home to be able to calm themselves in multiple moments. My daughter is a big feeler, so shout out to any big feeler parents out there, but being able to have her say to her, like, take your breaths, take a moment, and she'll go to me like, okay, Mom, I'll calm my body. And like, she could do that. I am an adult and I can barely do that. So I think these kids are growing up in a totally different world than what we were presented in. And I have so much respect and gratitude for all the teachers that are teaching these things. I mean, math, yeah, that's important, but these are the things that they'll need to be successful in life and take that through as humans in this space. They need to be able to control their body, control their mind. And I just want to give a shout out and flowers to all of the teachers that make my life as a parent easier. So I really appreciate it. I am also in World, I forget who it was just talking about stretching. I know I gave this sneak peek in alpha yesterday, but there is a stretching emote from the foundation that is hidden within the Wellness Plaza. So make sure you go explore and grab that. So that your avatar can stretch with you as well. But also a reminder to take physical breaks. I took 45 minutes today to go to a workout class in real life and then came back and jumped back into Wellness Week. So we really want it to be, it's intentional, that it's not back to back to back all day for 3 days. Like, take that in real life break as well and do what you need for your own mental breaks and nature walks and whatever it is. For me, it's like intense cardio workout and intervals. So whatever it is that really gives you that reset. And thank you to all of the creators. I'm going to step down because I know I've spoken a lot over the last 2 days, but I just wanted to give those shout outs.
Thank you, Kim, for coming up and speaking yesterday, today. A lot of good conversations have been had in here, and I appreciate that. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying of just like readjusting to the world today, and just honestly, I feel like with how quickly the world is changing, we have to also like adjust how we meditate, how we exercise, how we do all these things. And it's cool to see like that we're teaching the new generation how to do that as well, because I really feel like that would have benefited probably a lot of us in school to have that, instead of just being like trying to cram information. Be like, where are you at mentally first, and then maybe we can learn, because it's like it didn't work the other way around. So I do love that. And it just reminded me of when I was at the United Nations Latin. I went to that one and the Betty one, so I get them confused sometimes, but it was at the Canvas 3.0, and they had the meditation group duo, and they're used to like going to like the prisons and teaching them how to meditate there. And the way they were doing it was kind of just like, this is like the modern way to do it. We're not telling you to like sit still for like an hour, 45 minutes of just silence, because it's really hard in this kind of modern age to do that. So instead, we're here to kind of guide you through it. And then the man would like sing and like do these sounds, and then it kind of like brought me into like a whole other world while this was happening in real life, and really like opened my eyes, and it made me realize why like they go to prisons. And they tell me that people who are in there literally for life are telling them, wow, I feel really free after doing that, which is a very powerful thing to be able to feel after a meditation. And it really does make a difference to like a stressful day, especially to just kind of just take those deep breaths and do that, you know, take those 5 minutes and just do that. It doesn't take long, and it really makes a huge difference.
Yes, indeed. I am loving it. Let's go. And Tang, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I think that was a while ago. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Yeah, this is great. VJ Deliria, I didn't know you also taught art. I think that's really cool. And also in an indirect way helping with mental health too, whether it's directly talking about it or just allowing them to express themselves creatively, indirectly helping their mental health and creativity and harnessing that. And I have one of my guided meditations that talks about that, and how expressing yourself in virtual reality can alleviate some anxiety. And they were talking about that on the panel earlier today, and I thought that was really, really powerful stuff of the LGBTQ community, and allowing them in certain countries where it may not be allowed to be open and be yourself, where you can come into virtual reality and be yourself more, and allowing you to express yourself in the ways you want to express yourself. I think that was a very powerful conversation that they were having earlier today on the panel. So just want to shout that out, of the anxiety of like of playing a role that may not be what comes natural to you, and how you can just come into this space and be whatever's natural to you. In any way, it's just beautiful. And just looking at everyone here and world, it's just an example of that, and just great stuff. And I think this is, for me, I mean, talking to people that are outside of Decentraland, it's been a great way. And they saw the video, the preview video, and for some it felt like it clicked, of like, okay, I'm getting this now. Like, I don't know why, it seems like if you're into games and stuff, like it seems like an easy concept, but truly it is like I don't know, it's hard to explain it in a sentence, but they just don't get it. They're like, is this just, it's not a game. It's like, no, it's a virtual space that you can come to. And when you bring in the meditation aspect of it, I don't know why it was like, it seemed like it resonated more. So I think this is just on multiple levels been a great event, and a great way to talk about the virtual space and Decentraland and being in this space that we've come to love over the past few years here. And I see Jay down there, and I just want to shout that out. We were talking yesterday how the metaverse is really anything you can make it. An old guy too, so talked about both of you in the space yesterday, of the metaverse is really whatever you make it. And we saw Jay's event bringing MMA, mixed martial arts, into it, and I thought that was really cool, of showing fights in the metaverse. And whether you're into that or not, again, it's a niche, and it's bringing something you already love into a virtual space, and now you're able to be in a space. I'm mad I kind of have FOMO. I didn't get to catch it, but being in a space like this, from people from all walks of life coming to enjoy some entertainment, I think is really powerful. CK Bubbles watching RuPaul's Drag Race at Dollhouse the other night after Beyond the NFT. Another example of that. Old guy bringing his barbecue in here. Like, it really is only limited by your imagination. And that's what I tell people too. It's like, what could I use it for? It's like, well, what do you like doing? Okay, let's start from there and go from there. All right. And you start to just piece it together. It's really cool. So just want to give you guys a shout out too. But appreciate everyone. I saw Nyanki in here. And if you haven't been to the second floor of the MetaParty Vibe space, I highly recommend it. It's a great little escape up there, and there's a little bunny hidden up there, holding on to a Bleace Paradox book. And yeah, I kind of want to keep these spaces to an hour. So if anyone wants to say any last words, time for that. Again, appreciate Peanut Butter for co-hosting, and to Decentraland for co-hosting these Twitter spaces. Does mean a lot, you guys being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who's come up and shared. This is open to all the builders too. I would love to hear from you. I know there's some walkthroughs. There's a walkthrough tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC. So definitely check that out. I think that's going to be really cool, doing the walkthroughs. I love doing that for the Mesh Art Fair last year. It's really awesome. So it just takes on another depth. Each of these spaces will take on another depth. If you already like it, you're going to like it that much more. It's kind of like the bonus features of a movie. It's like you get to hear from the director and the actors. It's kind of like some behind the scenes. And so just takes on that other level. So looking forward to that. And yeah, any last words from anybody, feel free.
I was giving a moment for anybody else to go first, but I'll go ahead. Thanks to Bleace for hosting these spaces. For one, it's been awesome seeing community take initiative in some of these bigger events, and want to manage things like this and show the community around, show people how to get involved. So cheers to you for that. I just wanted to say, check out the Ultimate Guide if you haven't yet, for stay updated on everything that's going on. Also, if you go to the Decentraland events page up at the top, there's a schedule tab where you can just view all of the different events. Makes it pretty easy just to kind of run down and see everything that's going on. So just check out everything that's going on. If you're new, you should be able to stay pretty updated with both of those.
Yep, I put the Ultimate Guide back up at the top there, so definitely check that out if you haven't already.
That makes it so much easier. And I know that if you're a first timer in the Decentraland, always feel free to come up and ask questions. There's a lot of people here willing to help. If you can't make it in World, don't have a PC, computer, whatever it may be, always check out the Bleace stream on Twitch. There has been also YouTube and Kick this week. So there's a lot of different platforms that you could also kind of at least get to see the visuals and be able to join the guided meditations, the yoga, the music, whatever it may be that's going on. There's a lot of different ways that you can also be a part of it.
And then we are right now in World, Mesmerizing MetaParty Vibes, about to watch this performance from Henny Wubs. We're having a special Henny Wednesday here, thanks to Dollhouse, thanks to Tangpoko, the baby dolls. Appreciate you guys doing this event, and really excited to see in what direction Henny went with this. Very much looking forward to it. Again, dance is that stress reliever. It's just a very communal event that we do every week, and I just absolutely love it as a concert goer IRL. I just love these events, and I know we're coming from different perspectives, but there is something to this, and just shout out to the Dollhouse for this, and Tang, BJ, Deliria, if you want to say any last words.
I'll just jump in really quick and say it's great to be back. Being away for a week and seeing all your posts and tweets about Wellness Week and about all the great events that are happening in Decentraland was really I had so much FOMO. I mean, sometimes we take it for granted, our little community here. But from the outside looking in, it looks like Decentraland is a fun place, full of activity, full of lively events. And I'm just so glad to be here and so glad to be back with you all. Hopefully seeing everybody tonight at Henny Wednesday. I'm going to jump out really quick and start partying. Back to normal, right?
I also really love the little crochet figures you made. They were so cute, the little 3D characters.
Thank you. I need to make one of you.
I would cry.
All right. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone coming through and everyone that's here in world. Much love, Steve Sai, Old Guy, Meeples, Jay, Nyanki. Can't wait for our talk, Nyanki. Hugh Powell, been partying with you all day. Mikey Z, Gaia, Hankos, 44 down there. What's up, friend? Neo, you already know. Meet, PJ Deliria, appreciate you again. PB, thanks again. Thanks again, Decentraland. Let's go. Day 1. We're going into day 2 and day 3.